Let's look at the stats.
Two of the main threads in the piece are going to be us getting to know the cast as themselves and then building a relationship with the audience and a connection with the audience as they tell us kind of their stories. And then we're going to have the thread like fictional characters, 3 fictional characters where their stories are kind of weaving through the show as well, and there's similarities between them, but the fictional stories go into kind of the mythic, which allow us to explore some of the bigger questions of the piece and allow us to kind of sit back and have a bit of a distance in a way that feels safe. There's also going to be songs. We're going to have some audio clips from the real interviews that the cast did of each other last time, and some of that audio was in the first phase, but we're re-editing the audio, so we're getting like really clear stories, and so we're kind of dropping down into the stories.
When we did this project last year, I interviewed 2 people to give me their experiences of food poverty. And that was a really big eye-opener. And I translated, because I can speak Somali as well, so I translated one of the interviewees' interview, and it was quite long, but I learned a lot. Not only did I learn from his experience of food poverty, but his experience of living in other countries and, you know, how life was as compared to here. I learned a lot, and one lady I interviewed was local to Coventry, and I understood about experiences of families that have children that have allergies and, you know, having to spend a bit more money to buy them food.
I got involved to begin with as a story gatherer, interviewing people, and then gradually realised that I'd lived in food poverty when I wasn't very well, and so got involved as a cast member, and also have been involved doing sound design and some music as well.
I was working, doing a voluntary job for the Jesus Centre, and there I was made aware of this. I was contemplating actually doing some of this, like coming up and volunteering. Then work just went horribly wrong, so I ended up on the other side of the fence.
It was very surprising. It's not something I expected to happen, but sort of to get involved in writing some music and like having my story in a show. It's something I've not been involved in a project with co-creation before, and that was really exciting, and I mean challenging sometimes as well, because you've got your own story in it and there were some unexpected sort of difficulties there, but yeah, it got me really excited about this as an idea for change and empowering people to sort of tell their own stories and use that to hopefully change society for the better.
We got some amazing MPs and councillors and change makers to come to the first phase, and now we're really interested in how we don't just want to invite people to the show and then go, right, what do we need to do? You know, we're trying to embed them into the process. So there's a whole massive campaign that is going alongside it.
You know, we're all the same, and there's no difference. Is to now create a connection between the cast members and the audience so that they can relate to us more, because, you know, the whole point is so that policymakers can understand the situation on the ground, because, you know, they're busy and they're in a different situation.
There's not an us and them. It's like we're all, like any one of us is, you know, however, especially with inflation and the fuel prices and everything that's happening in the world right now, like this could happen to any one of us, and we all need to work on it together.
I would like for people to just like stop and think a little bit more about everyone who is affected by food poverty, and how it is something at the moment could really affect anyone. Like anyone's only ever a beat away from it. But just to really stop and think, like, what is done to support people, and why are people in food poverty in the first place? What do we need to change? What policies do we need to change to empower people so that they can feel proud and look after themselves? And what issues are we facing that could put more people into food poverty? And really just like start a conversation, hopefully, as a result of this and other things that they're seeing.
I said, hey, you, do you wanna help me?